Tracking your preferences. What did you want to read about in 2025? While most of it was fairly predictable, there were some surprises. I like to use my last blog of the year to focus on you, the reader. You provided valuable feedback to me and the last of team and also my content engineering. What I want to see us to write us about. How in-depth should things be? This is always a balance between the amount of information provided and the rate at which readers tire with an article. My focus is channels I write for systems design and low power, high performance, perhaps to be expected this year. The readership numbers broadly align with the hot topics of the year. AI data centers, chiplet, and multiphysics. I wanted to acknowledge my colleague Brian Moyer, who dominated the leaderboard within a LPHP. As more in-depth articles are clearly popular with you, and if you haven't found them yet, you really need to check out a few of them are listed in this blog. AI and data centers. Everything about AI and data centers has been popular this year. Coming in third place is lines blurring between the supercomputing and HPC, written by Ann Mister. The acceleration of performance improvement due to AI and its aggregation is driving significant changes at the leading edge of the computing. An important part of any AI model is activation functions, which Brian Boyer wrote about in implementing AI activation functions. Activation functions play a critical role in AI inference, helping to parry out nonlinear behaviors in AI models. This makes them an integral part of any neural network, but nonlinear functions can be fuzzy to build in silicon. Moya also took the spot in this category with the new data center protocol Stackers AI. This focused on the development of U8 link and Ultra Ethernet. Compute nodes in AI and HPC data centers increasingly reach out beyond the chip or packaging for additional resources to progress growing workloads. This may command the other nodes in a rack scale up or the employee resources in other racks scale out. An emerging subtopic associated with the data centers is power and some firmware. This is rapidly becoming a limiter in both what can be achieved and what can be physically built in. One low power design has not yet won over performance and may soon become the best solution. In third place was Moyer's article, Will New Processor Architectures Raise Energy Efficiency? Data centers continue to heat up as new processors consume more energy than ever before. Cooling is the primary weapon against the hot heat this processor generate, but it won't be able to keep up forever with traditional processor architectures. New ones may be necessary. In second place was Can today's processor architectures be more efficient? Another article by Moyer. For years, processor focused on the performance, and the performance had a little accountability to anything else. Performance still matters, but now it must be accountable to power. The top spot went to the ad spalling. With a crisis ahead, power consumption in AI data centers. AI data centers are consuming energy at roughly 4 times that later the more electricity is being added to Greece, setting the stage for a fundamental shift in the where power is generated, where AI data centers are built and much more efficient system, chip, and software architectures. One way to deal with the power issues is by considering architectural choices. Moya considers one aspect of this the best DRAM for artificial intelligence. AI involved intense computing and tons of data. The computing may be performed by CPUs, GPUs, or dedicated accelerators, and while the data travels through DRAM on its way to the processor. The best DRAM type for this purpose depends on the type of system that is performing the training or inference. In second phrase, with the round table conducted by Sparring titles how AI will impact chip design and designers. Top place was the final part of this round table. Titles best options for using AI in the chip. The importance of the interconnect has also risen within the broad category. Mastura wrote about optimizing data movement. The metaphor new and better AI models is creating for insatisfiable demand for more processing, powering much better data throughput. But it's also creating a slew of new challenges for which are not always good solutions. Again, Moyle took the top spot. Can cheaper radios handle short distance? Optical technology is well established for long-haul communications, but the distances it serves are shrinking, especially in the data center. Chiplets. Many of the advances in compute power and the ability to service the demands of AI have come from the adoption of chiplets. This is a steeply divided subject between those companies using it within a vertically integrated environment and those wishing to do it in a generous marketplace. One of the most read articles was a roundtable that I conducted at the ESH this year, titled When Can I Buy a Chiplet? This is the second annual installment of this roundtable and looked at the advances made over the past year. Chiplet, the standards, and UCIe plays an important role. I wrote Chiplets still challenge with the UCI 2.0. This focuses on the needs of few compared to those of the masses. Plug and play chiplets are popular goal, but does the UCI 2.0 move us any closer to that become a reality? The problem is that current drivers of the standard are not after the interoperability and the way that the plug and play requires. Perhaps I need to explore what the improvements were made in UCIS 3.0. Sparring and Mutual put their heads together to pen chip architectures becoming much more complex with the replit. The migration from the monolithic SoCs to chiplet-based design is to creating a fusion array of options and trade-offs for design teams working at the leading edge, and the number of choices is only going to increase to third-party chiplets begin pouring into the market. The concept 3D IC and chiplets have the whole industry excited, as I learned about the 3D IC for the masses. It potentially marks the next stage in the evolution of IP industry. But so far, technical difficulties and cost have curtailed its usage to just a handful of companies. Even within those, they do not appear to be seeing benefit from a heterogeneous integration or reuse yet. A similar story looked at the developed flow for chiplets. Chiplets of flow usually in a semiconductor functionality and productivity, just like SoftIP did it 4 years ago. But a lot has to come together before that it becomes reality. It takes an ecosystem which is currently very rudimentary. In the top spot, another important part of chiplet integration was tackled by visualize with a signal integrity plays an increasingly critical role in chiplet design. Maintain the quality and reliability of electrical signals as they have traversed through the cracks is provided to be much more challenging with the chiplet and advanced packaging than in monolithic associated PCBs. EDN Risk 5. While talking about the developed flows, verification have been making waves ever since the latest James Wilson search results were published. I wrote a balanced approach to the verification, which looked at some of the reasons behind this trend. It focuses on the need for management to take a closer look at their verification strategy to determine if they are maximizing the potential of their tools and staff. One of the new buzzwords for 2025 was multiphysics. I looked at this. What exactly is multiphysics? The version of this term is a fraction of just how many new and existing problems need to be addressed simultaneously in the design flow with advanced nodes and packaging. Finally, the top spot in this category is RISC-V's increasing influence. The industry is increasingly talking about the benefits brought via RISC-V architecture, but is it even the right starting point? While it may not be perfect, it may provide the flexibility necessary to move forward gradually. As always, thanks for reading these and many articles we have penned during 2025. We will look forward to keeping you updated with the emerging technologies, models, methodologies, and more in 2026. If you'd like us to write about anything in particular, drop one of us an email and we may be able to add it to the publication calendar. Happy holidays to all. See you in 2026. Today I read this, tracking your preferences, and I will read all articles in this paper, in these articles. And thank you for your time. See you next time.